Python functions are the backbone of organized, reusable, and efficient code. They allow you to encapsulate a block of code that performs a specific task and then call that block of code whenever you need it without rewriting it. Let's start with the basics of defining and calling a function. You define a function using the def keyword, followed by the function name, parentheses, which can contain parameters, and a colon. The indented block of code below is the function body. Return is used to send a value back from the function. The triple quotes define a docstring, which is a helpful description of what the function does. Sometimes you might want to define a function but don't have its implementation ready yet. That's where the pass statement comes in. Pass is a null operation. Nothing happens when it executes. It's useful as a placeholder when you're structuring your code but haven't written the logic for a particular function or block yet. It prevents an indentation error. Variables defined inside a function are local to that function, meaning they can only be accessed within that function. Variables defined outside any function are global and can be accessed anywhere in the program. In this example, global message can be accessed both inside and outside my function. However, local message is confined to my function. If you try to print local message outside, Python will raise a name error. Recursion is a programming technique where a function calls itself to solve a problem. It's particularly useful for problems that can be broken down into smaller, similar problems. Here, the factorial function calls itself with n-1 until n becomes 0 or 1. Every recursive function needs a base case, the condition that stops the recursion to prevent infinite loops. Python provides special syntax to allow functions to accept a variable number of arguments, *args for non-keyword arguments, and *kwargs for keyword arguments. Args collects all positional arguments into a tuple, and kwargs collects all keyword arguments into a dictionary. They are incredibly useful when you don't know beforehand how many arguments a function will receive. The self keyword is a convention in Python for referring to the instance of a class within its own methods. We'll delve deeper into this when we discuss object-oriented programming, but for now, understand it's the first parameter of instance methods. When greet is called on obj, self automatically refers to obj itself. In Python, functions are first-class citizens, meaning they can be treated like any other variable. You can pass them as arguments to other functions, return them from functions, and assign them to variables. This flexibility enables powerful programming paradigms like higher-order functions and decorators. Lambda functions are small, anonymous functions defined with the Lambda keyword. They can take any number of arguments but can only have one expression. Lambda functions are typically used for short, throwaway functions that you don't need to define formally with def. These are built-in higher-order functions that operate on iterables. They are often used with Lambda functions. Map transforms each item, filter selects items based on a condition, and reduce combines items into a single result. Reduce needs to be imported from the functools module. An inner function, or nested function, is a function defined inside another function. Inner functions can access variables from the outer function's scope. This pattern is often used for closures and decorators. Decorators are powerful and elegant ways to modify or enhance functions or methods without changing their actual code. They are essentially functions that take another function as an argument and return a new function. The @myDecorator syntax is syntactic sugar for say hello equals myDecorator. This allows you to add functionality like logging or timing to existing functions cleanly. Let's test your understanding of Python functions from basic definitions to advanced concepts like Lambda and decorators. Pause the video and try to answer. Solutions coming up shortly.